Hey Ringside crew, welcome to the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. And now here's your host, Joe Panther III.
Hello there, wrestling fans, and welcome to another episode of the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. I am Joe Panther III, and man, Ringside crew, American and UK, welcome to Dudes at Ringside, the craziness that we have here. So, I have two gentlemen that are absolutely just blazing a trail for themselves, or their trail's already been blazed because they're an amazing team and they're awesome. I'd love to be a manager for you guys. Let's give a warm Dudes at Ringside welcome to the brand. Welcome, gentlemen. Welcome.
Hey, how's it going?
How you doing? You okay?
Yeah, very good. How you doing? Thanks for having us.
No problem, guys. So, let's get it started. When who trained you? Who trained you guys?
Well, I'll take the first one. So I started in 2021, just after lockdown had finished. Places started reopening. I started. Well, in fact, no, I started before. I started in lockdown doing just promo character work. JD knows all about it because I was sending him a lot of stuff whilst he was living in Greece. And then when lockdown opened, I went and started training at the Future Shock. They did a beginner's course there. And then gradually started, well, after the beginner's course, moved on to their intermediate classes, and then met the guys from LWF. And I've been training with LWF since.
Yeah, for me, when obviously I was mentioning there, when I got back from Greece, living out there for a couple of years, got back, wasn't in the best shape of my life, but then as was like, hey, get involved, see what's going on. So went to a few sessions. Never had any intention of wrestling on shows or getting to like where we are now. Also went to a few LWF sessions, did the Future Shock sessions. Then sort of last March when I did the Future Shock sessions. Last July went to a training camp in Denmark run by Dan Evans through DPW, Dance Pro Wrestling. And from there, it was like, okay, I'm in it now. I'm committed now. This is what I want to be doing. And here I am.
Awesome. So did it take a while to decide that you guys wanted to be like this big tag team in the indie scene in the UK? Or did it immediately click and then you guys knew you were like, we're a team. We're a team.
So we've known each other for about, 22 years.
If not longer, yeah.
Yeah, so we've basically grown up together, got the wrestling thing going, and then it was like immediately just we kind of thought kind of has to be the thing that we do now. Take that into the ring and start putting these tag matches together.
Awesome. Here, we got one of your big fans. She told me all about you guys. She was very happy that you guys were coming. Lisa was coming. She was happy that you, as you were coming on the podcast, she sent me pictures of the glasses that she made for you guys.
Yeah, we decided to wear them for the first time on yesterday. So we defended our titles yesterday for the first time. And we thought, why not? She gave them us when we won the titles on the 28th of September. So we thought in our first title defense, why not up the ante, put the new glasses on?
That's it. It's got to be a thing.
Good luck charm, I guess. Lisa's a lucky charm, I guess.
Lisa's brilliant. She gives us a little bit of stick every now and again, but she loves us really.
We are classed as heels, but we're very much in tweeners. Everyone seems to love us and our slogan of "This is what we do." It seems to be, it's taken off. It wasn't supposed to take off. I don't think we meant for it to take off. It just kind of has, and we've ran with it.
Awesome. Like when you guys did your first tag team together, like tag team match, was it the brand, or did you guys have another idea of a name? Was this always the name of the brand? Was always the name of the team? So
weirdly enough, before JD had started wrestling, I decided that I wanted to come up with a faction name, tag team name. One of my other friends who unfortunately doesn't wrestle now, due to various reasons with epilepsy and stuff like that. I was speaking to him about making a tag team got the brand. So that kind of came from there, and I've just kind of stuck with that since. And then when JD came in, we were talking about tag team wrestling because really there's not that many. From what we've noticed, you tend to get people that are just thrown together when you go to shows. Whereas we thought, you know what, we want to start doing something where we can be tag team. We can advertise ourselves and promote ourselves as tag team wrestlers, not just singles wrestlers. And it was kind of from the get go that we decided that the brand was a thing, and then the logo came about, and our good friend Amber, who you had on not long ago, designed the logo for us. And obviously from there we decided to get it tattooed.
Wow.
Commitment.
That logo is fire. When I was making the poster, I was like, okay, they sent me the promo pictures. Then I was like, yes, they sent me the logo. So I had to put like the logo, your logo underneath. It's like a spaceship. So like, I was thinking the two different pictures, the bunch of the pictures you guys sent me, you sent me. I was just like, but I like the one that you guys are looking at each other. So it made it look like, do we do it? Do we go and invade dudes at ringside? Look like two spaceships. Like the dudes at ringside, because like you guys are looking at the earth, like, do we invade dudes at ringside? Yes.
Yeah. The brand takeover tour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to have you guys on. I'm so happy. I know my ringside crew, my American fans, a lot of them are not familiar with you and the brand. You both. So if in five words, how would you explain to the ringside crew, the American wrestling fans that really don't watch the British or UK scene, how would you explain the brand to them? They gain more fans, because you got me for life, guys.
There's one that I've just got to do. This isn't going to be it, but this is what we do.
Okay.
Okay. As soon as you say five, I was like, I have to say that. But other than that, I don't know.
That's a hard one.
Never really thought about it. I mean, as you can tell, we don't shut up. We never use less than anything near 5 words. It's way more words than that.
I'm actually stuck for words.
Oh gosh! Whoa!
What we can't. So with everyone's favorite bad guys, we kind of that. I don't know if you'd agree, Josh, JD, that it's kind of like the Razor Ramon kind of style, favorite bag, that kind of gimmick. It's not, but it is.
Yeah, it's that thing where you look at like when Kevin Owens was doing heel work. You look at Austin in the late 90s, where what he was doing was was heelish stuff, but everyone kind of loved him for it. So it's kind of, that's where we've kind of found a little place for ourselves. I don't know if it's more by luck than judgment, because we just do what we do and then stuff happens. So yeah, that's way more than 5 words. So sorry about the initial.
Yeah.
Because with me being in the States, there's a lot of like young, and there's a lot of wrestling fans that, as like I've been doing this now for 3 years, this podcast, and people ask me all the time, they're like, have you actually ever watched any of the wrestlers that you've interviewed from the UK? Like, and I honestly, before I go, I got to look it up. I've been watching you guys since like I heard about you from Maddie, and I'm just like, Maddie's like, do you think you're going to get them? And in my head, I can't be confident about everything. Not everybody doesn't. Not everybody opens their DMs on Instagram, and I understand that. But you guys deserve a spot on Dudes at Ringside. You deserve to have the main belts in the corner, in the middle, instead of on the sides, like the brand and stuff like that. That name just even pops. It doesn't have to say, okay, we're the Thunder Boys. Okay, you just lost me. I'm going to get popcorn. I got to pee now. The brand, I'm like, yeah, man. I can see you guys coming out going, yeah, with me behind you going, manager, I did it. I made it. I'm here. If I ever come to the UK, I'd be like, guys, I'm here. Here's my sizes for my jacket. And I usually wear red glasses. If your Lindsay can make red glasses with like clear with the cool designs on the sides. Like,
we'll have a chat. We'll talk about it offline. Business talk.
Let me learn it. Learn to take a bump before accidentally you don't tell me I'm taking on Maddie, and then Maddie is like, I'm so sorry, Joe. I gotta hit you. What? Glasses fall off my head.
Oh no, Maddie won't apologize. That girl's made of granite.
I'm not a hitter, I'm a hugger. I go to hug her, she just throws me over the top rope. Land in Lisa's lap. Lisa, help me. Yeah. So I recently saw you guys were in a ladder match. So
Yes.
like I always ask this with wrestlers. They practice, you guys train and do all this training for matches. How do you train for a ladder match? Like what do you do? You just go in going, okay, I'm not gonna die today. Like how do you train for that?
I mean, for me, it was more a case of we've got a ladder match. I grew up on the Hardys, Edge and Christian, Dudley Boys, those ladder matches, TLC matches, and I'm like, okay, let's do some mad stuff. Fortunately for me, I don't really have any self-preservation instincts. So when I'm in a position where I'm going to jump off something or do something, I just do it and hope for the best. And
Whereas I'm scared of heights.
Oh my gosh. Oh no.
So climbing up the ladder. To be honest, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I think the mentality of it for me was just getting into that zone. Because you can plan for a match, you can plan for any type of match, but when it comes to ladder matches, we've not had a cage match, but I'm going off what other people have said in the past. You just do stuff in the moment. So you'll have a plan of what you want to do, and then just for example, you start to climb the ladder, and in that moment you decide, oh, it's going to make a pop if you jump off and say, for example, the Jeff Hardy swanton, and in that moment you just do it. The adrenaline's going, and it doesn't matter. Nothing matters what's happening. It doesn't matter if you're scared of heights. It doesn't matter anything. You just do it. To train for it, I don't think you can really train for it. It's just a matter of kind of planning what you can and just then going with it when you're in the ring.
I don't think either of us would have wanted to, like when we had obviously spots in mind, neither of us would have wanted to even try them beforehand. Like most of the stuff you see in that match, we've obviously thought about it, we know it's happening, but we've not tried it before. We've not practiced it, because if you do practice it and something doesn't quite stick right, it's going to get in your head. That was my thought process behind it anyway. And then it was like, do you know what? That's what we're going to do. I'm going to do it at the moment. Let's see what happens.
And especially when it comes to weapons as well, with like chairs. I mean, obviously chair shots and stuff. There's a lot of stuff going around with CTE and everything now and whatnot that stops you being able to do stuff. So doing it in the moment, if you was to do it wrong and then someone gets injured whilst you're practicing, you don't want that to happen. You don't want it to happen anyway. But at the end of the day, if someone's going to get hurt, it's in my view, and if I'm going to get hurt, I'd rather do it whilst wrestling rather than getting hit with a chair in training. And you know what I mean? If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Obviously, we try and do everything to the safest possibility that we can. But sometimes, obviously, such as ladder matches, it can't always be as safe as people would like it to be.
Yeah, the risk there regardless. So no matter how much you practice something, it's gonna happen.
Sorry guys, is this match on YouTube? Because like I could always share it on my story at the end of the podcast so everybody could watch the match.
Yes, there's a socials camera version of it on YouTube. I've been told that we've got to give her a shout out while we're on the podcast. So Amy, big shout out to Amy. She does our socials at the LWF shows. She's brilliant, and she's the number one hater of the brand apparently. So yeah,
most of the photographer I had her on. It's Moonshine, another one. She's another good person.
Oh yeah. So she was there Amber was there last night at Moonshine Photography. We've not had the pictures for her yet. She's been in work this morning, so she's going through them at this moment in time. And hopefully they'll be up soon. We have got the socials footage again for last night, but it's just not been uploaded to YouTube yet. I've not had a chance. So
yeah, she's amazing. I love what she does. I love her pictures. Like every time I get a wrestler's pictures, I like look at them and I go, It's not Amber. Amber didn't do these pictures. You could tell when she does her pictures, guys. Can you agree with me that she does it with love and heart, and she knows how to like position people and get people to not be like all cramped, like when they're posing. It's like it feels like they're just streaming into the air. They know what they're doing. It's like watching a TV cover or like someone painting a Picasso. You know what I mean? When she does her stuff.
Yeah, I've got to give her a lot of credit. Yeah. I'll go on, JD. I'll let you go.
So yeah, she's brilliant at what she does, and I mean, there's sometimes where I find myself looking at the picture and I'm like, wow, is that really what my face looked like when I was doing that? And the thing is, though, I'm not gonna hide behind that. Yeah, that's what my face looked like. But one thing that she does that I still can't get my head around is she's like an absolute ninja. So there's pictures where she will be looking directly at you, you'll be looking in her direction, you won't know she's there. She just ends up in the perfect position, whether we've told her to be somewhere or not. More often not, because I forget. But she always just ends up in that perfect position where she'll see us. I won't know she's there, but yeah, I'll think about that picture and go, hang about, how were you there and I didn't know you were there? It's just brilliant, really good what she does.
Yeah, it's something that you like. You could take a picture. Another one when the fans that don't even live in the same country look at it and go, wow, she's good. Like, I go to shows, guys, and the photographer is right on the rail. Papa Panther has to go, can you move over, please? I'm watching a match. Like, my dad has to stand the whole show so the photographer's butt's not in your face, like, trying to get the shot. And I'm like, we're all behind you, right? Like, come on. Like, come on, people. Like, it's almost sad. Like, yeah. So,
What's brilliant with Amy and Amber is they tend to, so when we have set up, they tend to stand stage side, so that whenever they're shooting stuff, they're not in the way of the fans. Obviously, on some occasions, they've got to go around the ring to try and get certain spots and certain photos or whatever, but 99% of the time, they are stood on the stage side to prevent any fans from not being able to see what's going on, and it works. Amber just works really well with it all. I think she goes above and beyond, to be honest, to try and make sure that the pictures are absolutely brilliant. So, yeah, all credit to her.
She's gonna be so happy watching this episode. She seems like they like me. They really like me.
We've been friends with her for a while. We've got to rub her up the right way, especially with her doing our photos for her.
Yeah.
She's got the power to make us look like proper Muppets, so we've got to be nice to her.
Yeah. I just got to try to come to the UK, and I would love to come be part of the show. Like, everybody's like, oh, do you sponsor wrestlers? I'm like, I work in a job that I get just enough, just enough. And I do this for the love of wrestling. So like when it comes for the week of a show for you guys, do you like make a schedule like for like training, like blah, 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 and like getting yourself to be ready for like a certain show and stuff like that?
I'll let you go first, JD.
I was going to say not really. Basically, we kind of wing it. The one thing that we do sort of earmark in when a match is coming up is we'll always say, right, we need to record a promo for this, and then we'll be like, right, is that a day that works? And then we'll turn up and we'll try and record something. More often than not, we will just break and we will just make each other laugh, and we will sit there laughing for a good hour before we've got anything recorded. Other than that, I don't think I personally don't do anything different a week before a match than I would do in any other week.
I think if anything, the only thing that we do is if we know the people that we're wrestling, which with the LWF guys, a lot of the time it is we know them quite well. That we decide to start putting a match plan together so that we don't just have to plan something on the day if we don't want to. We chip and chop with stuff on the day, but if we get a kind of a plan ready to go, it just makes life easier on the day where it's less hassle, and it's more chilled environment. Other people can then jump in the ring and do whatever they need to do because you've already got a solid plan to go off. Other than that, it's a hard one. So we train we train whenever we can. With my full-time job, I work shifts, so I work like earlys, nights, and lates. So I can only do certain training on when I'm on earlys, because otherwise I'd be late for work or not in work. And then when we've got weekends, we train on the weekends when shows aren't on. But leading up to a show, I'd say anything really, but by the actual day where we go and help set up, it's just a great atmosphere to be around. Anyone that wants to try and get into wrestling, I recommend it completely. It's one of them things where it can be grueling and it's a lot of hard work, but me from being from an events background anyway, watching that show pay off is it's such a phenomenal feeling inside. And when the fans, like for us as well at the minute, we're in this position where we can kind of, I'm going to use the word manipulate, but I don't mean it in a bad way. We can kind of manipulate the fans into cheering or booing us with whatever reaction that we do, because we're lucky in that tweener role. We pretty much have a very good control of what reaction we want to get in that moment. So it's just kind of, I'm probably going off on a bit of a tangent here. I do apologize.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, the lead up to a show, it's just getting ready, getting yourself prepared. Obviously, going to the 28th in the ladder match, that was a completely different, surreal feeling because we were walking out as the new tag team champions, and to then go into this week where we was defending them, I remember us being stood backstage going, well, bearing in mind this is just yesterday, like, we've got belts, how do we change our entrance up to make it look new, because we don't know what we're doing. What do we do?
So when it comes to like after a show, when the show is done, I'm a local podcaster, I always support my local businesses. Is there any restaurants or like bars that you guys attend to eat like a food after a show? Because I know before a match, your stomachs are like going crazy, and even though the brand, they just focus in and they're like tigers, they just go dead. So after a show, what is your like go-to meal that you always have to have?
Yeah, I tend to. I'm a bit weird when it comes to show days because I don't eat on a show day until after the show. Don't know why. Something in my head where I just don't. But then I'll get home, I sort of start unpacking all my stuff, and then I will more often than not order a Chinese from whichever Chinese is open, and then I will eat way more than I should do, and then I just pass out. That tends to be my plan at the end of a show anyway.
So if they made a menu for the brand, like a meal at a Chinese food restaurant, what would be the meal? Would it be separate meals, or would it be like a family size meal for like the brand? If there was like, are there Chinese food restaurant or any kind of restaurant, what would be the meal?
For us, it's separate because Raz doesn't like your spicy food, and I love it.
So yeah, I'm a bit of a wimp when it comes to spicy food. If I was to have a curry, it's a korma because I can't handle spice, and I get acid reflux, so I suffer quite a lot with acid reflux. But in fact, I know this has been said because I've watched Amber's podcast with you a couple of days ago, and I was like, yes, when she shouted out what she ordered, because I was the one that introduced it to her. And it's the pizza pan, chicken, sweet corn, ham and pineapple with hot dog stuffed crust. Now, I don't order that every time, but it is one of my guilty pleasures to go to, especially after a show. I suppose it just depends what I'm craving. After it, if I decide that I want a beer, or if I just want to go home and chill and eat, it just all depends on the mood that I'm on. Food wise for the day.
Yeah. So if I would ever take a trip to the UK, because I definitely that's on my list. If I came to a show, what would I be expected to see? Like what are you saying? What would you say that if I came to an LWF show, what is the first thing that you would expect me to like encounter with the fans or just the atmosphere and stuff like that?
We literally had a very similar conversation to this yesterday with someone who'd never been to an LWF show, and I'm trying to remember the way I described it. It's you're going to see a lot of daft stuff. I don't know if you're familiar with any of the work that the Lancadors have done. So you're going to see a lot of daft comedy stuff. You're going to see some pretty quality wrestling as well, but it's just a family-friendly, fun atmosphere. Everyone gets on. Everyone has a good laugh. Everyone interacts with the fans. They interact with the wrestlers. It's basically just a fun day, and it's a fun place to be on a show day. Is probably what I'd say.
And it's getting bigger and bigger. Last night's show was one of the smaller venues that we've done, but it was absolutely phenomenal, and it was nice to have that kind of feeling of everyone being around. It's just everyone's so it's like a massive connection, one big massive family, and it seems to just be getting bigger and bigger. The more shows we do, we're getting more than we did one in Longridge and we had like 350 people there. And then we've got a 400-seater venue coming in January, and then an even bigger one in April. So the LWF's going back it's just getting bigger and bigger. And the way I see it is it's a really family orientated entertainment business, and everyone feels like part of the family, no matter if it's your first time there, your 100th time there. Everyone tries to make you feel really welcome.
Awesome. Like that makes me feel good. Like if I ever came to the UK, I definitely would hit you guys up and say, hey, I'm here. Where do I get my ticket? Like, do they, hey, what's going on, everybody? Laura. If I was gonna come to a show, was there like a certain place that you guys always do your shows? Because I know there's certain places in America that buy a building and they do a training. It's their training facility and they do shows in the facility. So do you guys like change your spots every time?
So they used to, when I originally started with the LWF, they do a show called Mutiny, which is like their up and comers show. Well, they've got an extra one now, so they've got Emergence, Mutiny, and then your main shows. So Emergence is like your beginners, the guys that are training still, just to give them a bit of limelight and to get them under the spotlight. But that's an invite only kind of basis where it's family and friends of them people. Then you've got Mutiny, which is kind of the next step up. So that's where other fans are coming, and it's just a way to showcase some of the talent on the main roster, working with some of the guys that are beginners to try and push them to that next step. And then you've got your main shows. So when I first originally started, going back to off my tangent, Mutiny was in the performance center, and they've now started to branch out. So you will get, for Mutiny, it was kind of like your Emergence, what Emergence is now, but you at a very smaller scale. And you've now taken it leaps and bounds, and it's now so Emergence, Mutiny, and they happen in one place pretty much 99% of the time. And then your main shows can go anywhere, really. So we've been to Longridge, we did Todmorden last night. We're in Rochdale in January, and we do Chorley as well, which is the local area for LWF.
So for you guys, after you won this ladder match, who's the next tag team that's on the list for the brand to face? Or do you just sit there like the Kings going, next? Like who's next on your who's on your radar next? Or you guys don't have a radar, it's just like whoever you put in front of us will destroy, like that.
We're here to take on all comers. Anyone who wants to step up will just get stepped on. No, but basically we've got a lot of different teams. Like yesterday was Clash and Moonbear, and love working with them too. Because I mean, when Moonbear, it feels like you're going to buy a truck, but it's like I love it, and I'm aware of how weird that sounds. So that was a brilliant match to have. We've got there's a couple of tag teams that are sort of getting, building up through LWF. We've got a couple of twins. We've got the Pac-Man, who again, we've worked them before, but they're brilliant to work with. So really enthusiastic kids. And I say kids because they're both 15 and they're brilliant. I will give them all the credit in the world. I don't say this to their face, and I'm aware they're going to see this, but this is the nicest I've ever been.
Going, well, thank you.
Yeah, this is the nicest I've ever been about them, to where they're going to actually hear it. So yeah, if they're watching,
thanks for watching.
Yeah. And then you've got the Baker boys as well, who are relatively new, coming up through the LWF Academy and the training center there. Again, we're keeping an eye on their promos, which are brilliant, crack every single time. And again, it's good to see if they're going to be the next ones to step up. But yeah, there's quite a lot of different tag teams that we're hoping to start, coming up and getting into that spot.
And also, we've also got the Lancadors, which they were the tag team champions before us. They took on all comers, so we kind of want to uphold that kind of legacy and keep it going. We always love a scrap with the Lancadors. It's always a lot of fun, and we genuinely, every time we get in the ring with them, it's absolutely brilliant. So, but to be fair, we'll take on anyone. It's we hope to see more people coming up through the ranks and more tag teams coming up to try and challenge us. But the way we see it, these are our babies. They're staying with us. They like it in Staley, Vegas, and they're not going home.
As I like to say this, it's like I do this for like some tag teams, not all. I'm talking to the management for LWF. You guys should do an open challenge at all the shows, and it's like we don't need opponents. We'll try to get our own. Like do like an open challenge. You just come in the ring, be like, who's next wants to be smashed? like open challenge. It's the best way to get a match, because even though you may not know your opponents, you don't know what you're getting. It could bring in new teams that have never been in LWF. People that are from Coventry Pro Wrestling. People that could be from like the other promotions in the UK that never wrestled there. Could bring them in. You know what I mean? That's how you get new blood, new promotion, new like wrestlers that have never been to the school that want to wrestle. And you say, make a video. I want you all. We're opening challenge. Who wants to come in? New people, not these people we've beaten. Smash, smash, smash. Newbies. You know what I mean? New blood helps you guys get fresh opponents. So you're not getting like Roman says, missionary every single night. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
We have got a few people to check off our list that we owe a good beatdown to from the LWF, such as the Children of the Moon and the Pac-Men, because they were lucky enough to get one over on us the last time we fought them. So then we have got some people that we need to some wrongs that we need to right before we start. Yeah.
Awesome. So have you guys ever thought of traveling abroad to like the States where I am from?
I mean, I think we'd love to be fair. It's just waiting for the opportunity to do it. And yeah, while we're talking to the States, if anyone wants to book us, send us a message. We're available.
Yeah.
We've done other shows, so we are pretty much we're the brand is a business in a sense. We are available for bookings anywhere. We love LWF. LWF's our home, but we are available for bookings anywhere. We've worked at Kingdom of Wrestling in Southport. We've worked for TWA in Blackburn. Darwin, and I've done Bolton Town Wrestling, and Josh JD has worked in Wales.
Worked with did a few camp shows for Basics Pro Wrestling in Wales, which that was a lot of fun. We did Burnley Pro Wrestling as well. But yeah, it's one of them things where like Ray said, there, LWF's home for us because they were the ones who got us that initial spot, and we'll be forever grateful for that. But we're always looking to see if there's anywhere else that wants to give us a shot and see what we can do there.
Wants to stand with a brand.
Yeah. That's hard to do because you guys are a really good stable, and like just saying, like I just went to a show in with my dad, my Papa Panther, and we went to Alpha Juniors he owns a promotion called Battlefield Pro Wrestling, and they have tag team champions, but I don't know. I think you guys could top them. They're pretty good, but they're a bunch of brothers, a tag team of brothers that are tag team champions. And I don't know, if you guys come to Battlefield, I think you would give them lots of competition.
I mean, we're technically brothers. We're not, but we are. Weirdly enough, our mums have got the same name.
They are doing a tag team tournament in Battlefield. They haven't announced the dates. They just slowly started sprinkling out the information. So if I get any info when the tournament is, I'll send you the poster, and you can message Battlefield or Alpha Junior and be like, "Hey, we're from the UK. We saw your thing, and I think the brand's going to win your tournament." Just saying.
I think that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you're going, I'll buy a ticket. I'll be like, "Hey, I'm with the band. I'm with the brand. I'm kind of part of the brand now. I got a green jacket. I got a blue jacket. I got a Christmas jacket, but that one doesn't come out till December. So hopefully there's nothing. I didn't leave I swear I have not checked that jacket. I just always get this weird smells in my closet. I'm like, please don't tell me I left the bag of Christmas cookies in the pocket. Because this stuff you don't touch till Christmas. Jeez. Do you guys have certain gear that you wear to separate certain shows, or does your gear always stay the same every time?
Well, prior to us being a tag team, I had my own gear. It was the Real Ryan Lowe brand back then. So the brand has always been a thing for me. And that was pink and zebra print pink tights. I love LMFAO, or I used to love LMFAO. So the inspired behind it was around what they wore back in 2011, 2012. But then obviously when we became a tag team, we originally didn't have gear. So I had my tights on, JD had orange camouflage. So what we decided to do was blend both of them together. And what you see in our tights now is a grey. It's grey with patches on. So the patches on mine are the pink zebra print, and the patches on JD's are the orange camouflage.
Awesome.
So that we can add our differences together, if that makes sense.
There's still a theme of a through line going through, and then it's our own little takes on it as well. And that boils down to the footwear as well, where Raz has got his black and pink Nikes, and I've got a pair of white and black with orange laces, pair of high top DCs that we wear. So again, it's that where it's the same sort of theme but different takes on it.
Slowly trying to get a plug from DC here.
I am trying. They are not responding.
That's not fair. Hey, you could shout him out right now. Hey.
That's it. If anyone from DC is watching, I'm a size 9. I like high tops more than the lower ones, but send me a message. We'll have a chat.
I think I found a new team. Just have the brand come on every episode. Be like, if they're a tag team, be like, so you guys are a tag team. We challenge every team. Just bring the brand on, even though it'd be late at night, because 90% of my episodes are always done at 8:00 at night. And if you're a tag team, the brand will just be there tired, be like, you guys are a tag team. I'm challenging you.
I'm there for it. Yeah, let's do it. Oh, what we can do is we'll pre-record a message, and it's open to everyone. So when you get a tag team, play it for them.
Yeah, every episode for a tag team. Oh, by the way, here you go. Bing! Boom, every episode. He'll be like, oh. Yeah, so I saw on your Instagram you had a match against Maddie. Is that coming up? Is that coming up next week, or did it already happen?
We've had quite a few matches against Maddie. When the last time we wrestled her was June, I think.
Yes, would have been early July.
I know what you're talking about. You're talking about Wrestle Story.
Yes, I saw, because I was looking at it. I was going to talk about today. I'm like, I hope this is not an old poster.
No, it's not. It's not. It's so the gent that I mentioned before, who started training with me, that has unfortunately had to step away. He's the promoter for this show. He only did his first one last year, and they did really well. I think I can't remember off the top of my head what they raised. I think it was about £1,500 or something like that for Epilepsy UK. I hope that I've said the right charity there. I apologize.
Apologies for grabbing my phone, but I'm literally just looking now so we can make sure we get the plug right.
Yeah, I can't think of the name of the promotion because I was looking at the poster and the poster looked cool. So it caught my eye. I have ADD and I'm just like, ooh.
It's not so much a promotion. It's the event's called Wrestle Story. Wrestle Story 2. It's based around Toy Story.
It's for the Epilepsy Society.
Oh, there we go. So we are fighting Maddie Morgan and Anthony Getski in a tag team match. With the repercussion, is that I can't remember if there's any repercussions on the thingy at this moment in time. So I don't know if I'm allowed to say that.
I don't think it is on there. So let's not say that.
Okay. Yeah, now I'm getting in trouble, guys. I may be an American-based podcast, and this is I think we're live, so no editing. Yeah. I just hope you guys can bring home the dub. I'm very excited about your match.
It's good. It's good. It'd be good to work with Maddie again because, like I say, we've worked with her a few times, and it's always good to work with her. And Getski as well.
Sturdy stuff as well, and she's very, very good.
Yeah, and then Getski as well. I've never worked directly with. I had a little bit of an interaction with him. I can't even remember when the Longwood show was.
December 30th last year.
Wasn't it? Yeah. So I had a little bit of a run in there, but never actually got to work with him. So I'm looking forward to that as well. But it should be a good show. Like I say, all proceeds going to a good cause as well. So hopefully we can raise some money there as well.
Yeah, that's good that you guys do shows for like charity, but there's a lot of wrestlers. I went to one in Allentown, PA. They did for a older wrestler, John Rambo. He was having trouble, so they did a charity show for him. And you rarely ever see charity shows. Like I do Special Olympics, like promotions in PA. Donate to like the Special Olympics. Donate to like a food pantry. Do a show for like the thing that they're doing the show for. These gentlemen are doing the show. These guys love what they do. This is their passion. Like, do something for, I don't know, think that the stuff that they're doing it for. But like, it's very hard. Like, I know you guys get a lot of like promotions to try to ask you to do things. Is it harder in a different country to do a wrestling show, or do you get a lot of different messages from promotions all the time, or not much?
This is the thing about not being in the same room, which might have been a good idea. We don't know who's going to speak. It's one of them where, I mean, like say Adam, who's putting on this show, did it last year, great success. Again, I think it's because a lot of the promotions were like I say locally based, but a lot in the Northwest, there's a lot of talent that sort of work on other shows as well. So putting that together again, I'm only speaking for what I think is the case, but it seems a little bit easier because you sort of know people who know people. For us, we're open for other promotions to get in touch with us. I think we're still waiting for certain things to take off on social media. I don't really understand algorithms and stuff like that. So when I'm posting stuff and hoping it gets a little bit of reach, it's very, very hit and miss. So we're open to get messages off other promotions. It's sort of, I wouldn't say it's few and far between, but it's definitely something where we get a few through and then it's a case of just working through them.
I think what we're in the process of doing as well is because our tag team this year is really our first year as a tag team. So we actually started, was it 11 months to the day?
It was 11 months to the day last Saturday. So when we won these beautiful things here, it was 11 months to the day since our first tag match.
So when the match that I had in December, JD had only been training about about 6 months?
About 6 months solid, yeah.
So at that point, I was still working as a singles wrestler, but JD was coming in, and the tag team match that I was in, I was with a guy called Ace Wheeler, absolute phenomenal guy, phenomenal wrestler. people book him. He's absolutely great. He's a heel, but he's absolutely angry and just everything that you want from a bad guy. And so we were working together against Getski, and I think was it Maddie Moonbear? Yeah, Getski and Moonbear. Yeah, Moonbear again, another phenomenal guy. People book him. We had a match against them, and JD was in our corner, and that was the first time we really did a lot. We did a live promo that show, and it was the first time that I'd properly instigated that the brand was going to be a thing, and that that was the tag team, the way that we were going. So we tagged together twice, once as an actual tag team, and then in a 6-man. So the first one was in the October, where again JD was new, and it was a case of, right, we are the brand. This is my tag team partner. I called on an old friend, and then from there, that's where it kind of took off, and we've just kind of, I want to say I'm gonna be nice to us. I'm gonna say we've smashed it since.
Well, you know,
I mean, these say everything, really.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you go to other promotions, do you guys ever try to like ask LWF if you could defend the belts at another promotion against their tag team champions and have like, I don't know how you guys feel about it. If you ever went to another promotion and asked them, if they said, yeah, bring your belts. Would you ever want to do like tag team, like whoever wins the belts, you could face them and win their belts, and then you take more people's belts. Like obviously, people with like the 5 titles. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, have you ever thought about doing that?
I don't think we've thought about it, but I'm not going to lie. Belt collector brand, that definitely has a good ring to it. I might need to have to buy a few more bags and extra cases to carry them all around. But yeah, I'm all about
that. We was only having them for. I mean, I know the LWF have done a cross tag team title match with was it Dansk?
That I think it was Nordic Elite. I think it was Dan Evans and Scott Oldman. I think it was a Nordic Elite. I might be wrong there, so apologies if I'm wrong.
Where they put them titles on the line at the LWF, so it's not really something that we've thought of or even thought to ask. It's not, as it stands at the minute, with us just winning them. I think our mindset's been elsewhere on, rather than focusing on other places with the belts. It's been right, who's next, who's coming for us at LWF. We have a lot of, with us being LWF being home, we do help out a lot the best we can and everything. And I think for us now, I mean, I don't know if, I'd say we do want to go everywhere, but the way that I see it is these are our babies. This is our priority right now. We are the tag champs of LWF. So if they want us to defend them Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we do it. And we jump through hoops to make sure that we put on the best show that we possibly can for them.
Definitely. I like that.
Grand Takeover Tour is in full swing.
Yeah, yeah, I would definitely be honored. I'd be like, Alpha, these guys are going to win your tag titles. I'm sorry they got to bring them back to the UK. Stop yelling at me. They're just going to take them back to the UK. They'll bring them back. They'll bring them back.
I don't know about that bit. If we bring them home, we're staying home.
And you like the way they look too. They're nice. They look like the old WWF tag titles. The way they shape them and everything, they have that build. Oh, they're beautiful. Beautiful. And promotion I go to a lot in PA, they're called PPW. They're Sladington, PA. Those ones really look like the old WWF tag titles. The same little world in the middle and everything. I held it. I was like, man, this person must be like me and love the 90s. I love the 90s/80 tag titles. Like, oh man, come back. I kind of got them back a little bit on SmackDown. Well, Raw, right? Yeah. The Raw tag team title. No, SmackDown.
To be fair, though, I do quite like the Raw tag team titles are growing on me.
Oh, the round ones, right?
So I've got I have a few belts from WWE the collectors, and I've got the Penny tag team when the New Day won it. You know, the one that they brought out for the New Day. And I think that's phenomenal. And I didn't like the penny tag teams when they brought them out originally, but they grew on me. And then because I get why they were trying to, what they were trying to do with the world tag team titles, as in they were trying to make it look more like the world championship.
Yeah.
So I quite like the idea behind what they've done. And the only thing that I really want them to do, which I don't think they will do anytime soon, is bring back the Oval IC.
Mm. Yeah, with the look, right? With that little the earths in the corner that Jay just made them blue. I was like, well, is that because of he wears blue? Like,
I think they just wanted to add color to it, didn't they? But I think if they brought back the old, was it 90s, 97 to 2002, something like that, Intercontinental title, the oval one, that was my favorite belt ever.
Oh, you mean the round one that had like the round, or that was like the triangle one that
So
Razor Ramon, right?
it was like that, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was the oval one with the, like, I think it had a blue tint to it. I always associate it with Chris Jericho. That's where my brain goes whenever I think about that title. But that is also my favorite ever title, the oval one. I want to say early 2000s is when that one was about.
Yeah, I kind of get a little like blank in the brain, and I've never taken a chair shot. But the one with the round title, the one that Benjamin held, Stone Cold had it.
Can I show this on this? Can I show this on the screen? Because I've just got it up on my phone.
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think you can. Yeah, that one. Yeah, that one. Yeah, I remember that one. That was the one that Benjamin held. Benjamin held that one. Who else? A bunch of wrestlers held that Intercontinental title. That was the one I'm telling you about, the round. I call that the round front. That was like the round. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Edge had it. William Regal had it. Christian had it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a popular. Like, I know a lot of people that hated on it because it didn't look like a real Intercontinental title. The Rock had it too. Remember, The Rock had it because they got rid of the belt. That's Stone Cold just sent the Intercontinental title for a swim and stuff like that. Did you know they actually, after they left, after they were done with that shot, they could not find the IC title?
No, I didn't know.
Yeah, you look it up. It's factual. WWE was it's like the old Stone Cold to just like lob it and like so that it doesn't go so deep. And he was so Stone Cold so deep into his character, he just launched it like he was hitting a home run in the ninth. Like, King gone.
That's brilliant. I didn't know that, but that is phenomenal. It's what it's them little stories about wrestling where you just go, that's brilliant, and it makes sense.
Yeah, that's crazy. But I love Stone Cold, and I would have been like so mad if I was the producer of that, and I would have been like, who's gonna swim for that? Shit! I see me like Joe. You're the volunteer. You told us you wanted to volunteer today, Joe, podcaster. Take it off my socks. Shit.
You can just imagine Vince stood there, can't you? Going, "That's great TV."
Hey, did you guys watch the Vince McMahon story yet? That on you. What do you guys think? I'm up to chapter 5 or 4. Like 5. I think I'm up to chapter 4 or 5.
I enjoyed it, to be fair. I think stuff hasn't come out in it that we all know now, but other than that, it's actually a good documentary.
Yeah, it is brilliant. It's the sort of stuff that you kind of knew already, just from a slightly different angle, and yeah, it's an interesting watch. I'll say that much. Yeah.
Did you guys watch Bad Blood last night, or since you're in the UK, you have to watch it this morning? Did you guys get a chance to watch any of the highlights?
Any of it. Basically, I forgot it was even on until Raz messaged me last night saying, Bad Blood was on tonight. I was like, nope. I'm not really an avid WWE watcher. I'll usually watch the big events, but it's not like my go-to. I'm more into watching AEW than WWE, to be honest.
Whereas I watch everything.
Yeah, it's not everybody's cup of tea. You know what I mean? I've been a fan since I was a kid because learning about my grandfather Jose Quinones is why I'm the third. Being in the Vince's dad's WWF, and I just got taught as a kid. WWF was your thing. You watch it. Your grandfather wrestled with he was like wrestler under his dad. So I just knew, oh my God, this big WWF was something that was part of my family, my family lineage. So I never been trained. I just do this stuff for love of wrestling. So, my last 4 questions for you, gentlemen. So when it comes to your wrestling career, do you guys where do you guys see yourself in 4 to 5 years? 5 to 10.
To be honest, I'm not one of them people that sort of goes, this is where I want to be, because I just focus on where I am now. And to be honest, I'm loving what we're doing now. So I don't want to get too far ahead of myself thinking, oh, this is what I want to do, or this is what I want to do. I kind of want to enjoy where I am at the minute. But ideally, for me, I just want to keep having decent matches, keep having, cutting daft promos that we do. I just want to keep having fun with it. So as soon as I start going, this is where I want to be, Lisa. That would be ideal. Yeah, I mean, getting wrestling in other countries would be great, but at the same time, I'm just enjoying what I'm doing, and while I'm still loving it, I just want to sort of enjoy it while I'm doing it.
I think I agree. It's we're both in the same mindset. We've said this from the beginning, which why we work as a tag team very well. Is we have a view on how we think wrestling should be, and it's not a case of where we are going to be in 5 years. Yeah, it'd be great if we end up on TNA or AEW or whatever. But anything could happen. I'm not saying that it's going to, and I'm not going to set that goal for us because I don't want to put that pressure on us. But I just think what we're doing now is we're loving life. We're loving it. We're enjoying every moment that we're there. We're enjoying having a laugh with people that we have a common interest with us, and we'll just do what we can and keep running with it until we need to change something up.
Mm-hmm. Well, we never got a chance to shout out the people that make your gear. So who makes your gear?
So our gear was I've had two people. There was Soglo, who did some blue zebra print gear for me, and JJ Wrestling Creations, who did my pink gear and also then did the bronze gear as well.
Okay. If my fans want to pick up any brand gear, like merch, like T-shirts or stickers or keychains or anything, so on, where can they find it?
We haven't.
At the moment, we're sort of we're limited to just being at shows, selling it on the merch table at the shows that we work on. It's something that we've been having a conversation about getting, some like a more online storefront type thing. We've mentioned it. I say we've been having a conversation about. I think we mentioned it once and then haven't gone back to it since. But now you've mentioned it again. It's something that we do need to have a chat around.
So when I started wrestling as a singles wrestler, I did open a store, but it was more as long as I had stock available, and it didn't work as well as I would have wanted it to. I tend to sell more merch at shows, so I kind of just binned off the idea and haven't looked back at it since. But it might have just been that I was going down the wrong route because it was a big cartel store at the time, and I think I got one sale off it in the couple of months I had it open. So I was just like, you know what, I'll just try and stick to doing stuff when I'm at shows.
Yeah, I know a lot of fans that I have. They're like, oh, it's a UK wrestler, but I definitely would like to pick up the shirts because whenever I go to shows, I look to see who I've had on the podcast to buy a shirt. Like I bought a shirt from a guy named Logie P, and he was on the pod like twice. I'm like, I gotta buy his merch. I feel like having you on here, I'm like, or wrestlers usually throw shirts. Here, take it, Joe. Here, you've done enough for me. You don't have to spend your money, but I'm like, as I say all the time, # support independent wrestling. Now I also # global independent wrestling. That's my new one I started using like a few months ago. I don't just say support independent wrestling. I like to support everybody in a whole. Independent wrestling nowadays is booming. So have you guys ever gone like to go on YouTube and actually watch like wrestling from the States to see what's going on the opposite side of the pond, like to know what is going on, or you just guys just go by whatever blows in the wind and you see it on Instagram?
Well, for me, I spend a lot of time watching a lot of different wrestling things on YouTube. It's really looking for inspiration on, oh, that looks pretty cool. How can we tweak it? Essentially, tantamount to stealing moves. But we do that just to sort of tweak it and stuff. But then if I see something, I'm like, oh, that looks good, I will go out of my way to try and find it. It's one of them things where it's more of an as and when thing, though. So I wouldn't go for a specific promotion and go, oh, I want to check out what's there. But if you've got any recommendations on promotions to watch on YouTube, you let me know, because I've got nothing but time to watch them. So
there's PPW, the one I always go to in Slatington. I think it's just PPW Wrestling, Pro Wrestling. I'll have to send you the Instagram when we're done. They're a good promotion. They always do a show on Saturday nights, and if you have Fight TV in the UK, you could always look them up. They do a show they have a show on the 12th live, and okay. They have a lot of good shows, a lot of good matches. I've been to quite a few. You'll probably see me in my red glasses in the background of the shows because my job, they schedule me a lot on Saturdays. From New York, we got NYW's, the New York Wrestling Connection, that's what got me independent. It got me into loving independent wrestling, like being there every Saturday night and stuff like that. My last question for you both: if there was any kids that had aspirations on joining the business like you have joined and you guys have taken over, what kind of advice would you have for them?
I wouldn't even necessarily say it's kids. It's just to anyone
or teens or young adults or whatever.
Anyone that's even remotely interested in wrestling and thinks, you know what, it's one of them. The way that I tried to explain it to JD when I was trying to get him to come, it's not a case of just getting in there to get fit. It's a way to keep fit. It's a way to have fun doing something that you like. But anyone that wants to do it, you get the itch and you get the urge, and you can go anywhere with it. It's not about what is it? It's a hard business, but it's a fun business, and I think I've lost where I'm going with this completely. JD, take over.
With me again, like I said there, it's not just about kids or young teens. I didn't start training until I'm 33 now. I was 31 when I started training, and then obviously it was the following year when I really started committing to it. That's the thing; it's about committing to it, because I was very dipping in and out of training sessions, turn up for one, disappear for a couple of weeks, turn up for another. I wasn't getting anywhere with it. I didn't enjoy it at that point. I didn't really get that itch. Then when I started training more consistently and really getting into it, it's the best thing I've decided to do. Granted, it took me 30 odd years to get to it, but it's the best thing I've done. And if anyone is thinking, maybe I'll give it a go, do it. Give it a shot, see if you like it, and just go from there. But again, you've got to be prepared to put the work in. You're gonna be sore. You're not going to sort of just, have a match and then walk away like nothing's happened. You're going to have niggles, aches, pains. Just enjoy them, though, because again, it's just one of them things.
And it makes everything worth it.
You don't quite, I never quite got a buzz from anything as much as I did from that first show we did. So last October, that first sort of pop from the crowd where it's like, oh, that's how it feels. And that's it. That changes everything for you.
Before we go, I had to show this because this is pretty cool. Yeah.
So the LWF actually do kids training, and they Lisa, for example, her son, I'm pretty sure she goes, but they do a show called Inspire. I'm not good. I can't even remember the name of the place. But
Inspire,
that's the one. Yeah, Inspire Youth. So that would be it. And they do like a couple of weeks training with kids there, and they've now adopted it into the performance center as well, so that people that are younger can get trained by experienced professionals, and from an age where they can start to develop and progress into wrestlers as they get to an age where they can start performing live and whatnot. So All I'd say to anyone is give it a go. You won't regret it. The worst comes to worst, you do your beginner's course, you do your first session, you don't like it, or you just it's not for you. Then you drop away. If you, all I can say is that first one is the one that did it for me, and it was just like, you know what, it could go anywhere from here.
Awesome. I want to thank you guys for coming on the podcast. It means the world to have you on. And also, before we go, anybody else from the roster from LWF that wants to come on Dudes at Ringside podcast, don't be afraid. Please message Instagram page. I will get back to you as soon as possible because I'm from the U.S. and my time zones are completely batshit crazy. So, like, if you get me about 2:30, I'm probably just getting out of work. So just message me, the owners of LWF. Please, 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 please. It's me begging you, not begging me, but like, just saying, if you want to come on Dudes at Ringside, I would love to do a spotlight, bring back the brand, bring back Maddie. We'll just have a big fun bunch and have you all on the screen. Of course, the brand will have more of the highlight. More of the screen.
Yeah, obviously.
You're my homies. I'm your publicist. So you gotta have you get you more promotion. Yeah, you gotta make that video for me. So I can show the tag teams like we want to challenge you. Oh my gosh. So Brand, thank you so much for coming on the Dudes at Ringside podcast. Thank you for accepting this. LWF, thank you for being so cool to me and giving me your wrestlers. I'm Joe Panther III.
We're the brand. Before we sign off, just let me, if people are wanting to buy t-shirts from the States, Josh, what's our email? It's bookthebrand@outlook.com.
Yeah. Message us on Instagram. That'll be a better option.
Yeah.
And also, like all our videos, share them all. I think that's about everything, yeah.
Okay.
But we can figure out a way to get merch to people if people do want them. So just make sure that they jump on Instagram, jump on Facebook, drop us a message, and we'll get back to you guys as soon as possible. Any promotions that want to book us, give us a shout. We're always our doors are always open.
Awesome. I'm Joe Panther III, and this is the brand, and we will catch you in the next one.